What's up, guys? Christian Retro Lover 4 here, back again with another review. So I was in the mood to watch some zombie movies, so I watched Day of the Dead and Zombie, or Zombie 2, or Zombie Flesh Eaters as it's known. For context, in Italy it's known as Zombie 2 because Dawn of the Dead is called Zombie there. And so they decided to make a sequel, but kind of like an unofficial sequel since Romero didn't direct it. So it's called Zombie 2, but here in America it wouldn't make sense to call it Zombie 2 or Dawn of the Dead 2, so they just named it Zombie. But then in the UK, they named it Zombie Flesh Eaters, so kind of confusing. In my opinion, it is not a great sequel to Dawn of the Dead, but it's great when it stands on its own 2 feet. I love the voodoo elements. I do love that it takes place on an island. It makes it feel a little isolated. The story was a little weak, but I gotta say, the blood and makeup is extremely impressive, especially because it came out a year after Dawn of the Dead. Like I said in my review, I don't know if I said it in my review, but the zombies in Dawn of the Dead, they're kind of tame. Like, they do have the iconic gray makeup and some blood marks, and towards the end, the kills are a little graphic, but most of the time they're just a bunch of bumbling idiots, and there's even a scene where they get water and pie splashed in their face, which everyone says is very goofy, including me. I think it's a very goofy scene. But the zombies in this movie, simply just zombie, it's very serious, very intimidating, very scary. Although the acting, I will say, is not the best, and the story, it does feel a little dull, short, and even drawn out, even for an hour-and-a-half movie. I would even say, like, it could trim like 15 minutes off and to be less dragged out. But if you're in the mood for something bloody and gory, want to see a cool zombie movie, I recommend checking out, Zombie 2, Zombie Flesh Eaters, whatever it's called in where you're from. I would give it I think a 7 out of 10, kind of close to a 6, but I think the end, I would give and the beginning too. The beginning is pretty eerie and chilling, especially with the score. The score is really good. But overall, 7 out of 10. I'd recommend checking it out if you really love zombies. Day of the Dead, I finally checked out, and I gotta say, it's probably the best out of the trilogy. Like, I really love Dawn of the Dead, but there is something so unique about Day of the Dead. It may be because, like, it's mainly about human versus human. Like, some humans are trying to stay sane, while others are just way past it and are living in the apocalypse, like Rhodes and the military dudes, while the reporters are still trying to, scientists, they're still trying to have hope. The zombies in this are way more impressive than in Dawn of the Dead, and the kills are phenomenal. Like, spoiler, but there is one military dude who, like, gets ripped apart, and his vocal cords are, like, taken out of him, too, and while he's screaming, the voice pitches a little, and it's just very scary, but also just, like, awesome. I think this is also the first zombie movie where, like, somebody gets bitten, and so they amputate the wound, and they're able to recover until he makes the sacrifice near the end. Overall, great cast of characters, great acting, interesting setting, interesting plot. I would say the best plot out of the trilogy is probably Dawn of the Dead, but I think that this is probably my personal favorite out of the trilogy, and I would give it an 8 out of 10, just like Dawn of the Dead. So, like, once again, check out if you really love blood, action, zombies, horror, gore, all that stuff. That's about it. Yeah, see ya.